Breaking news, Nebraska has made a huge change at offensive coordinator. The Huskers have demoted Marcus Satterfield and promoted Dana Holgorsen to call plays in the final 3 games. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my instant reaction. What does this mean for the Huskers, and why is this big news for every Nebraska fan? So really quick, we have a lot to get into. That's obvious. If you're fired up about this move, I know I am. Hit that like button. Hey, if you're new to the channel or a returning viewer, make sure to subscribe. I post breaking news talking Nebraska football every single day. So if you're a diehard Husker fan, make sure to subscribe. You will be thanking yourself that you did. But without further ado, let's get into the news. It was just announced by Matt Rhule at his press conference that Marcus Satterfield will no longer be Nebraska's offensive coordinator effective immediately, and Dana Holgorsen will now be that man. He'll be calling plays for the Huskers in the final 3 games. Wow. We just saw, of course, last Tuesday that Dana Holgorsen was hired as an offensive consultant. We thought he was just going to be helping with the game planning aspect. We were wrong. This was the plan the entire time, was to promote him instantly to offensive coordinator. You know, we've just never really seen anything like this in college football. It's not very common for you to hire somebody off the street and have him immediately be your OC for the final 3 games. But Matt Rhule obviously felt like a change was needed there. Dana Holgorsen, he adds a lot of expertise. Of course, former head coach at Houston and West Virginia, one of the best offensive minds in all of college football. And absolutely, you can expect a change in this offensive production. I think in general, we're going to start putting up a lot more points, but I think the play calling is going to be a lot better, especially in the red zone. That's really the aspect that I think we've struggled at the most. I think Dylan Raiola is going to feel a lot more comfortable in Dana Holgorsen's offense. Now, the offense is not going to look entirely different. It's still going to be the same philosophies, but the play calling is really what's going to be the difference maker. And I think a lot of the situational awareness will be improved. So very interesting news out of Lincoln. Again, what's also interesting, I reported, again, about 10 months ago in January that Dana Holgorsen would be joining this Nebraska staff. All signs pointed to it, and it ended up not happening. The reason it didn't happen in January is because Dana Holgorsen wanted a bigger role. He wanted to be the offensive coordinator. Matt Rhule said no. Then Matt Rhule circled back again a week ago and said, hey, I was wrong, Dana. I'm going to hire you now with 3 games remaining, and you can be the offensive coordinator. So that's why this is happening now, not in January. I think Matt Rhule, honestly, he made a mistake when he didn't hire Dana Holgorsen when all signs pointed to that happening back in January, but he makes up for it now in these final 3 games. So what does this mean for Marcus Satterfield? Well, Marcus Satterfield is still with the coaching staff. He's just purely going to be the tight ends coach going forward. I think he's going to be gone after this year. Again, we've already talked about how his house has been sold. His family's no longer living in Lincoln. I think the entire plan with them bringing in Glenn Thomas, especially in the winter as well, was just for Marcus Satterfield to mutually part ways at the end of the season. All signs still point to that, but he is no longer going to be calling plays for Nebraska. Again, big news. Matt Rhule, again, he kind of felt some of the heat. He felt the heat. A lot of people were calling for Marcus Satterfield to be gone. Matt Rhule listens to the fan base. He makes this move. Now, what's going to be interesting is whether or not Dana Holgorsen will be our offensive coordinator next year, or will that be Glenn Thomas? That is going to be a massive question mark going into next season. Or is it going to be an outside hire? We don't know, but I think a lot of people aren't even focused on next year. We're just focused on winning these final 3 games. And, you know, by making this move, I think in general, our offense is going to produce a lot better. Again, our play calling is going to be better. We're going to put up more points. And again, feel really good about it. It's pretty unheard of. Again, this doesn't really happen too much where an outside hire comes in and becomes the offensive coordinator with 3 games left on the schedule. That's pretty much unheard of in college football. But sometimes you need to make risky moves in order to really get wins, and that's what Matt Rhule is doing right here. So once again, Dana Holgorsen, the new offensive coordinator, at least for these final 3 games, and then Marcus Satterfield no longer the head man at that spot for the Big Red. All right, guys, pretty big news for Nebraska. Let me know down below your thoughts. Are you fired up? Let me know in the comment section. Hey, if you made this far in the video, shout out to you. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to join the best family here on Husker YouTube. And as always, folks, go Big Red, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.